Shifting focus to the migrant issue in the U.S. as the U.S. migrant crisis escalates even further, the Republicans have rallied against the Biden administration's handling of the situation. In fact, they've demanded a government crackdown to choke the flow of migrants to the country's borders.
In the latest, the Republicans have warned of starving the federal government of funds. That is, if the U.S. President Joe Biden fails to get to the core of the migrant crisis. The warning by Speaker of the House of Representatives Mike Johnson comes on the heels of his visit to the affected borders. The Speaker, along with 60 Republicans, visited the U.S.-Mexico border to build pressure on the Biden administration.
And braving icy climate conditions, navigating through a barbed wire fence, migrants from Mexico waded through the Rio Bravo River to surrender to U.S. authorities, and they are seeking entry into the country.
People carried their bags and even children on their shoulders to cross the river. They were also seen negotiating with the officers near the fence. And in one such instance, migrants were seen climbing over barbed wire and rushing towards the border wall.
Hundreds of migrants tried to cross the barbed wire. Following the events, additional barbed wire were installed along the riverbank.
A large number of migrants are continuing their journey to the United States through Mexico. Many people are making the trek and they are living under tough conditions. The number of migrant encounters in the southwestern United States hit record numbers last month.
And as we enter another year, mass migration continues to be a key challenge for the United States. According to reports, U.S. border agents registered more than 300,000 encounters with undocumented migrants only in December 2023, which is, viewers, the highest monthly total since records began. And despite the risks and perils that accompany them, many are still prepared to undertake the dangerous and uncertain road north in pursuit of a better life in the United States.
And for more on the migrant crisis in the United States of America, our correspondent Susan Tehrani gives you an insight on the situation. Take a look.
The visit to the southern border by the House Speaker and scores of Republicans come as the GOP is putting increased pressure on the Biden administration for stricter immigration and border policies. Republicans and Democrats remain divided on how serious the border crisis really is. GOP lawmakers are going into the 2024 presidential elections with a focus on the border. And that's because in a recent surveys, when Republican voters were asked how serious the issue of the border crisis is, they said it was very serious, and they wanted to see the next administration and the White House put a focus on the border and illegal migration, while the Democrats responded in the same survey saying that they hope the GOP would reach across the aisle and work on inflation and the economy. One area that both Democratic and Republican voters agreed on was to allocate more resources to the U.S. southern border with Mexico, like increasing the number of border agents. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World is One.